I'll share that I had lots of emotions. I still have, you know, lots of emotions around the genocide, around the ethnic cleansing, around the occupation, and I had a fear of speaking up, and I want to speak to that fear, because that fear is real, and the fear is that if I raise my voice, whether it's on social media or on a live Twitch stream on the Contraband Wagon right now, that someone will see this and that someone will call me an anti Semite because I'm criticizing Israel. Someone will call me a bigot, right, because I am calling out Zionism for what it is, which is a colonial movement to place Jewish supremacy at the top above above all others, and especially within in Palestine. And I have learned, I've been on a journey of transformation myself over these last few years, and I've learned that to overcome my fear, I have to lean into that fear. And I think that's so important when we want to elevate our voices. Because let's be very honest, traditionally here in this country, and I'm not going to speak for other countries, but here in America, where the Zionist movement is strong, it is well funded, and it is powerful. And so anyone who lodges criticism against Israel, well, the Zionist movement has its tactics for shutting that person down. They file lawsuits against the person for slant defamation or whatever it might be. Um, they try to make laws. There are state laws. New York State, I believe, is one of, it might be the only one, or it might be one of the only ones, where they have legally outlawed the boycott, divest, sanction movement. Um, which is wild to me, right? We
I know.
have
How do
in
you outlaw a movement? That's just ridiculous.
I don't want to butcher it. I believe it has to do with not funding or not giving state financial aid to businesses who are actively boycotting the state of Israel.
That is wild.
It is, yeah, yeah, and I'm not 100% clear. I'm not fully familiar with how the law is working, but yeah, it's wild to outlaw what amounts to a freedom of expression and speech by taxing them financially. What's behind that, right? That if the Zionist movement was not what I said it is, or what not others recognize it to be, then why outlaw it? Why not just allow freedom of speech? Instead, you pour money against those individuals. You try to ruin their lives, um, and that is very real. And so a lot of us, I mean, I was speaking for myself. I had fear of speaking up and saying things that um, would get me labeled as an anti-Semite, and I just decided, I mean, I'm not going to let that fear hold me back. And I think a lot of people, and this is what I think, and well, I'll piggyback off what you said earlier about the international solidarity that we're seeing amongst people. Um, it's people leaning into that fear. I'm going to venture a guess there, because I'm not the only one who has that fear. Um, And so I just think that's really important, because that is no small feat to lean into our fear of being outcast or labeled or attacked by those in the Zionist movement who don't like what we have to say. That's real and that's empowering, right? And so I encourage everyone to do that. Lean into your fear, right? Don't be afraid. Have courage to speak your truth and to speak truth to power, right? Because fear is an emotion. That's all that it is. Fear is an emotion, and I don't want to underplay the fact that the Zionist movement is not only real but does come after those who criticize it, and yet we can be afraid and not do anything and then we are left powerless. And we give our power away by giving into that fear. We take the power back by leaning into that fear, saying the thing that we need to say, to make sure that people don't forget, that people recognize, look what's happening, and it leads me to this international solidarity that you talked about, because I agree with you. I look at others who are using their voices, who are leaning into that fear. And let me tell you, the fear is also on social media, because because even I've seen posts on TikTok. If you say free Palestine, it's been taken down and censored. Right? These I feel like with social media, um, I have often fallen into the trap of thinking that social media is a true kind of open marketplace of ideas, a public forum, and in reality, it is not. And we're seeing that with the ethnic cleansing and genocide. We're seeing it because people are being censored. I was censored also. I was in Facebook jail for a while.
I was
Um,
censored on Twitter. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So that's very real. Um, and I think that we need to capitalize on this international solidarity, because, the Democrats, they lost a lot of confidence with people, and they lost a lot of confidence for their undying support of Israel. I mean, Kamala Harris said in no uncertain terms, "Don't even ask me the question," she said. There will be no conversation about withdrawing support to Israel, period. Um, and we are seeing what Donald Trump is doing. And for those who are on the left, for those who are progressive, how can we get behind someone who just says, "Forget about it. Don't even engage me in the conversation," right? We're going to keep, yes, we know that the genocide wouldn't happen unless we stop funding it, but we're going to keep doing it. And then we get into a conversation of the lesser of two evils, which I hate. I understand the conversation, and yet having courage and taking back one's power involves standing our ground, standing for what we believe in. Um, and I don't know how the Dems come back from that. I
Oh, I
don't
don't
know.
think they're. I don't think they're. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
really.
that's
It's
a
not.
different conversation. Yes.
Yeah, it's. Well, I was just gonna say it's not a narrative that is out there yet, so I don't necessarily want to put it out there raw like this. But I'm just gonna say I'm pretty. A lot of people understand that the Republican Party, or what it was, is gone. Now it's the party of Trump, and what's going to
Mhm.
happen after Trump's gone is anyone's guess. If he, if he's gone.
Mhm.
But from my perspective, this election marked the end of the Republican Party as we knew it and the Democratic Party as we knew it. That party is, in my opinion, over. I just think they don't know they're over. I think it'll
Mhm.
take them a while to kind of figure that out as they continue losing for the foreseeable future, which I think is virtually inevitable at this point. But yeah.
I 100% agree.
Thanks for watching. For access to the full length conversation and all of the 2 hour long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support and see you next time.